One of the smartest things I think Microsoft did was sort of get out of paying third-party developers huge sums of fees to create them, games that are timed exclusive or whatever. I mean, we still see timed exclusives on both sides. A lot of the time it has to do with the developers being small and only being able to do one at a time. And when they come out on Xbox, it's usually because they're going to come out on Game Pass and they like the idea of Game Pass. On the other side, you have a situation where, Sony pays a lot of money to get a lot of these games, and the quality isn't always there, which is very unfortunate. But we do have a little bit of interesting news. Well, what I thought was very interesting news, because so many people were sort of talking up PlayStation 5, and I think the PlayStation 5 is a fine console, but I definitely don't think it's nearly as good as the Xbox Series X, and I'm just being 100% honest there. I felt like Sony has done some pretty good things with the PlayStation 5, but at the same time, it's hard to kind of really understand the problems that it's going to have, and those problems will get even worse as time goes on, because at the end of the day, the Xbox Series X continues to evolve at a much faster rate than what the PS5 can. And, that's going to be bad news for Sony. Of course, it's not going to affect them long term or anything like that, due to the fact that, they have such a big player base and things. But, again, we could be seeing a distinct difference in the quality of games. And, I think that's going to be something that a lot of people aren't going to want to stand for. But, hey, let's go ahead and get into it. Should be a fun video. What's up, everybody? I'm The Crap Gamer, back with yet another video. Very much happy to be here. Please leave a like on the video. I'm looking to get 100 likes on each of the videos that I do. Would be tremendous if you could help me out in such a great manner. And with that being said, thank you guys for rocking out with me. Now, we're sort of seeing a lot of things come out. Looks like there's going to be Forspoken. This was a game that I initially was excited for on PlayStation, right? And I'm not going to lie about it. It looked good when they unveiled it. And then everything we saw from it after that point just looked absolutely terrible. So now VG Tech has analyzed Forspoken PS5 demo. In performance mode with the 60 frames per second, it works in dynamic resolution, with the highest resolution being 1440p, but it goes down to 720p. Usually the resolution is less than 1080p. In the quality mode at 30 frames per second dynamic resolution, the highest is 4K, which is probably dynamic as well, and the lowest is 1080p. So even in quality mode, you get 30 FPS and 1080p. 1080p, 30 FPS on the mighty PS5. In performance mode, you get below 1080p. It's a lot of 720p apparently. Again, 2023 on the PlayStation 5. Absolutely crazy to think that this is happening, but with so much negativity going on right now against Microsoft, everybody's like, hey, it's crazy, Microsoft's laying off all these people, and I'm like, yeah, that is super unfortunate. I wish those people well, but a lot of people are trying to use these things as console wars, and that's something that I'm not going to do these days. That's not to say that maybe I wouldn't have partaken years and years ago, but as far as I can tell right now, these things are super unfortunate, and I'm not going to do that. Microsoft does have some good news though, to counter. It does look like Sony has some of this bad news and stuff like that, but a lot of people are trying to say, well, Starfield's going to get delayed again. This game's going to get canceled. This game, blah, 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 because they laid off people. Well, and I made it pretty clear that, a lot of these layoffs and things, unfortunately, were within Microsoft. Different situation than being Xbox, right? But it looks like we are going to get a Starfield release date very soon, according to Bethesda. Their Instagram account says Starfield release date will be announced very soon, as a standalone showcase for the game is also currently in the works, which I've also gone over with you before. As one of the biggest upcoming releases of the year, Starfield has a lot of eyes on it, and questions have been frequently asked about how long it's going to be before we finally get our hands on the highly anticipated sci-fi RPG. Interestingly enough, it seems like we're going to get the answers very, very soon. Bethesda has said that Starfield's release date is going to be announced soon, and the company confirmed via its official Instagram page in response to a comment that was actually spotted someplace else, but I'm going to link this so you can check it out. Now, Microsoft has a showcase event planned for later this month where we'll offer new looks at several upcoming first-party titles and announce their release dates. And while Starfield isn't part of that event's lineup, it has been confirmed that Bethesda's RPG is getting its own standalone show in the near future as well. In all likelihood, that's what the company is referring to when it says it'll announce the game's release date soon. Now, Microsoft and Bethesda announced last year that Starfield was expected to release in the first half of 2023, which was reiterated earlier this month. However, some recent reports have claimed that the game will be released in the summer, which would take it slightly out of that window, but still start targeting early 2023 launch, which I think would be, a very good thing indeed. I hope that Microsoft continues to fight fire with fire. I mean, it's unfortunate the stuff that's happening and the negativity and things like that. That's always going to be hard to overcome because, as a company, you're always fighting not only that company, but you're fighting multiple companies. You're fighting the media. It's just really one of those things that is really unfortunate, and I hope that they kind of get the better of it eventually. They got to get out ahead of it. Like I said, I always find that to be kind of unfortunate when this stuff happens, but I hope that people kind of understand a little bit better what's going on. Like the negative stuff affects everybody, but I feel like it's like tenfold the problem when Microsoft happens to have these type of issues, and that is really bad for everybody. I don't think that people losing their job is a reason to poke fun at others, and I don't think that at the end of the day that Microsoft is trying to be overtly malicious or whatever. You have these boards and things like that, and you had a bunch of remote workers, and you had also, let's just be real, in some instances you had this case where people were underperforming, and that's exactly what this original thing was that a lot of these layoffs were underperforming employees, and that's super unfortunate, and I do wish, like I said, I wish them all well or whatever, but again, it's like when they hired 40,000 employees or whatever, at some point we were going to see a situation where some of these people were going to be let go. It's like the same thing when a big developer hires a bunch of people when they're ramping up to make a game, and then after the game is released, they usually kind of let go of a significant amount of those people simply due to the fact of they don't need them anymore after the ramping up process is gone, and that's the unfortunate part of the business, but it does happen. With that being said, let me know what you guys think. Sound off, rate, comment, subscribe. We get some good Xbox news. Starfield release date soon. Bad PlayStation news. 720p. Rack 'em up, fact 'em up, crap gamer 'em up. Crap gamer out.